All right, hello to Facebook and to YouTube, and on my other phone to Instagram. Ah, I just had like a little moment. Um, I was thinking back over the day. I don't know if you guys do this, but I tend to decompress a lot. I have to because of the type of work that I do that's always tied to people or to somebody's story. And then um, the actual work itself. It takes a whole lot of mental energy and it takes a whole lot of thought and thinking. In fact, I told you guys this. If you watch my show, my reality show, which started last year, me and everybody in my life started a journey called Reading Things My Way. I knew that doing that reality show for my subscriber base, if you're in Patreon, you get to watch it free. But anybody can watch it by going to Reading Things My Way, Reiding. Reading Things My Way. It's a play on my last name, .tv, and you can click and go watch all 12 episodes. The 12th episode will be uploaded on Saturday, the last episode. Then after that, we're going into a documentary concerning my entire life, even deeper than Reading Things My Way. And it's going to air for everybody free on the main platform. But the behind the scenes stuff, of course, is going to be in Patreon. Um, Said all that to say this: doing the job that I'm doing, all the jobs that I'm doing, and all that I have to do, it's important for me to decompress, and so I do that a lot. So while I was riding the car, headed to go do some things, I just stopped, you know, got a few of the Wendy's nuggets. I like Wendy's nuggets better than McDonald's. And I stole some of them, pop some of them in my mouth. And I'm just thinking about yesterday. Yesterday, I had a phone call, and this phone call was with the text conversation was with my mom. And the phone call, I almost went into a praise just then, but I'm going to take this slow because I feel like praising them. God has been so good. The title of this live, Instagram to see me live, but y'all over here on YouTube and Facebook, you actually got a title. There are 1,150 of you watching me between YouTube and Facebook. I need for you all to hit like and share because I'm about to show y'all something that's real powerful. If you have issues, problems, or have had issues and problems with your parents, how they raised you, what you've experienced, what they said or done to you years ago, you need to watch what I'm about to tell you. Because this, now, of course, in the documentary, hopefully, if they agree to it, we'll go a little deeper. But I'm just going to tell you this right here. Now, on the YouTube channel, Reading Things My Way, years ago, I done this video, it's still up, about everything that happened concerning my divorce when I got divorced. After about, how many years of marriage that was? 18 years of marriage. And I detail it with the kids. A lot of you are just now coming into the awareness of the brand. We just passed 100,000 people on YouTube. We're about to hit 100,000 people on Facebook likes, but of course there's like 150,000 followers on that Facebook page. So a lot of you are just learning who I am, but I've been in the digital space for some years, and so I'm having to tell and retell stories over and over, me and everything. But that video is still up, and so you can go on that YouTube page and you can watch what I'm telling you about. I broke down crying on that because some of my kids going with their mom, and that whole situation was a lot. It's a whole lot. And I was divorced wasn't even bad, but it was a lot. It was a lot. So much so that I really had a bout with suicide and had never dealt with that in my entire life. I didn't even think I could ever come to that kind of place because I'm just not that dude. But I did. And thanks be to God, I came through it. But it wasn't easy. Okay. So we'll get into all the more of that deeper in the documentary. We start taping that thing next month. So it'll be out by the end of the year. Then we go right into season 2, reading things my way. But that's for the subscribers. But the documentary for everybody here. So I had a conversation with them on yesterday. With my daddy on the phone, my mama through text. Every first of the month, I always send my parents money. Now, that may sound wonderful and great, and it is a good thing to do. But I got thrown into doing this in a very unique way. I left home at 17 years old. Let me repeat. I left home at 17 years old. When I left my parents' home at 17 years old, I went into living on my own. Done some college. I played for some churches. I was doing choir director, organ, keyboard, drums. But I fell on a lot of hard times. I was living in my car. I was living in one of the churches I was working in that I renamed. I actually renamed the church from original St. Paul Apostolic Church. I was associate pastor there. And that's where my pastorate ministry started. And we changed it to Upper Room. And that was after an ordeal that Shamako, my best friend, his father was the pastor, but he got in the situation. And so they didn't have him as pastor no more. He had gone something else. And so I was still left there as associate pastor, me and Elder Woodley. And we were running the church. But anyway, then I left from there and started my own church. And so that's when my pastorate ministry started in 97. By 98, I was on my own. Now, because I left the family church and the family way, and I started doing, I won't never like everybody else. I mean, I always walked to the beat of my own drum. I mean, it's been like that since I was a teenager. So doing what I do now and people talking, that's been my norm for all of my life. And having an opinion. Well, God ain't told how you gonna go from being a pastor and now you doing entertainment. You out here gossiping, It don't matter what I say. That's how certain people gonna always classify and try to degrade it to, not knowing I'm actually doing comedic commentary that really takes a gift and a talent to do. You just can't do this. The folks is not gonna watch you just goes. It ain't like that. And so when I transitioned from, first of all, it was an issue with my parents for not being in the family church. I'm like one out of hundreds who never was officially a member of the family church. I first learned to sing and to play and my musical stuff there, but I never was a part. And I joined a church down the street from my mom and them house, which was the Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ, up under Bishop L. in Stevenson. And so as a result, it was like, okay, you doing something different than everybody else. It was just like that my entire life. Why am I talking about honor your mother and your father? I'm about to tell y'all some stuff. And it's gonna help you, because mine was bad, but it was bad according to my situation with my parents. But some of y'all, I've heard y'all testimonies. I'm like, dude, no, my parents were wonderful compared to y'all. And they were great parents. But I was a weird child. I didn't, from the birth, from what mama tell me, I always was the opposite. I was the weirdest one, the strangest one, the most trouble. I was suspended and kicked out of school and then suspended license, locked up in jail. I was the only child that was like that. Then I'm the one that's 15 start prophesying, get saved, 16 start prophesying, 17 start preaching. It's like, what is this? What is up with this child? This child is always doing something. Married at 19 years old, I did everything early, fast, quick, wild, out of order, loud, let's roll. So it's just been like that. It's just been like that. And as a result, you can imagine how my parents were like, what is going on with this nigga? And what's wrong with my child? And how he not going everybody else direction? Now, mind you, they did not know in the midst of all of that, I had got molested, I had got raped. They didn't know any. There's also manifestations that were categorized that we don't know what's. This is crazy. My daddy probably thought I was crazy because me and my mama, I got to the point where you talking about whoop me. I'm like, look, I'm tired of whoopings. And you whoop me, let's fight. So let's square up. Then daddy come home, I done fought his wife. Then it's a problem. Then that messed up our relationship. I was always buddy boy. I believe I was my daddy's favorite until that started happening. Because he was about to leave the house, he would take me with him. And everybody else be riding the car. He had me sitting right near. I was his youngest son. And so, but I screwed that up. Well, I didn't really screw it up. I just say the way things were and the way that I was, it sort of just threw everything in the topsy-turvy. There are 1,648 of you watching between YouTube and Facebook, and there's 137 of you watching on IG, which is why I want to come over here. If y'all 137, come over here. I know you got a cell phone. You come over here and watch. But it's been nice. I don't know how long y'all gonna last neither. But anyway, so then as time went along, it was like, I had all these talents and I took them out of the family. I took them. My daddy's pastor in the church. He needs a musician. He needs music, and I'm gone. I'm not going with me, you don't even need a choir at that time. I would get on the piano, my foot would kick like a drum, and I would bang the piano and sing. You didn't need a choir. I used to do it all the time for my bishop. The choir had to show up. As long as I had a mic piano, I did all the music. And my dad like, God, I need all that. So it took years. Eventually, I just focused on doing ministry and stuff. And eventually what ended up happening, I just got okay with it. Daddy would come visit the church sometimes. But still, I was crazy because now I went apostolic. Oh, that's Jesus only. Then y'all real crazy. I mean, it's like I couldn't just sit somewhere and just do proper. I always had to come up with doing some other stuff. And my Lord told me to do this, so I feel like I'm going to do this here. And because of that, there was always contention. Then next thing you know, now my baby sister now and my older sister them want to all come to my church that's in the neighboring city and leave my dad in them church. I'm like, Lord have mercy. But then at that time, like, no, you can't take your children. Nell, my older sister, you can't take your children. I'm like, Mom, because she came in the house crying. I said, what you mean? They say you can't take your children. I said, girl, get in this car. I went down there with the church man. Let them children come out of the house, and that was a whole problem. Really, communication could have fixed all this, but So then I'm just going on. So by this time, everybody used to, okay, Larry's apostle prophet and have these ministries around the world. This is like when I'm coming to it, like 20 years of doing this. He's successful. He's all over TV. He's on all the major networks. Everybody knows his name that's in church. Now, this is before Larry Live. But anyway, then out the blue, I pour all that out my cup, all them years, and say, seems like the Lord is telling me to go into entertainment. But yeah, you've been doing music. No. Back to radio. I was doing radio before I started pastoring. Back to radio, do comedy, and just talk about current events. That's gossiping. That ain't right. So and while that's happening, I'm tattooing my arms. I got tattoos everywhere. I'm putting earrings in my ears, and I'm looking like the show enough world. And my family's like, okay, yep, he's crazy now. And he divorced, and he went to Atlanta. So yeah, he probably got 10, 13 boyfriends and some girlfriends. Got Atlanta's where all the gays is at. And he doing, that's been made up all this stuff in their head. So anybody knows that when you are about to go from one career, now mind you, I have been doing this for years, so it's time to retire and preaching and watching it. But I go switch a whole career and go to a whole nother direction. Bruh, I lost everything. Now, mind you, I was doing well. I had churches everywhere, wanks everywhere, but London and St. Martin had families that had moved over here to working in my school that was part of my church. And I'm doing well. So what's even when we went online, I was doing well. Cause last 2 years, because I got called, I saw the future where we came into 2020. I saw that future years ago. I said the church is gonna have to go online, build online. I got old videos, go look at them, all up there. That's confirmation and proof. So, and I was still doing well. But then I said, okay, I'm not doing it the way I have done before. That's it. And so my parents were like, "You are absolutely out of your mind and you're crazy." And I'm gonna say this: all these years after leaving home, it wasn't until 2018 when it was time for me to build Larry Live. I took everything out of my bedroom. I set up my studio in there. I slept on the floor, put pictures of my logo all over the wall, and said, "I'm going to build this." Now looking back in the back of my head, along with the fear of failure, I also wanted to prove to my parents again that they were wrong. That's what I wanted to prove because they thought I was wrong for starting the church and going out on my own versus staying and building the my family church. And I've heard from God again. Watch this, and I did, and I did it. But this is what God told me to do because I had stuff in my heart. Said, I want you every time you tithe and you give to me, I want you to give to your parents. So before I understood how to do that, I had already started sending money to my parents, and I was giving them my entire tithe. Listen to this. Now, mind you, my mom and them is like, okay. And let me tell you what initiated this, because after Lisa left and everything was going, all these people who I got houses for, paid for weddings, funerals, and all, and lived in my houses and stuff, they all disappeared when I quit doing pastoring and thought I was crazy. I went to my mom and them for the first time in my life since I left home at 17 and asked them for a loan, and they gave it to me. And at that along with the conversation I was having in my head and with God is why I started sending money when I started rebuilding. Bruh, what's the title of this? Honor your father, your mother. Now, I'm skipping a whole lot of horrible experiences and exchanges that I'm going to tell in the series that some I've already told and reading things my way when we started recording last year. But to do that, I had to do that, which is what the Bible says, in order to work through some things emotionally and mentally and let go of some things, and to also show my parents that I honor you, because I realized that me leaving and then using my gifts all the other places made them feel like that I did not really honor them. And I would talk positive about them all the time, but they ain't here, they weren't there. So at that time, in 2018, and let me tell you what happened. Now, mind you, we were raised poor. We were raised in this real skinny, yellow, single wide trailer that basically fell apart. And then mom and them bought this a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, double wide white trailer. Then mom and them, when was that? I can't remember. They had a storm down there and it got tore up, and it allowed them to buy this big, huge, nice modular home. In that area in the country, that's it. Big, nice modular home. They got probably like 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And then they built all this porch and stuff. Actually, I built the porch on it and all this big stuff. But anyway, but they told me how much. It's 2018. I said, I know this may sound wild. I said, but how much will it cost for y'all not to have any bills? They got that land that daddy mama got for them, and they don't want to move from there at all. So I said, okay, let me set this as a goal. Let me tell you this. Somebody had said they're going to give me some money in 2019, I think it was, or 18, that fell through. But they want a lot of money, like $650,000. And one of the things I was going to do was make my parents debt free. I had a whole list of things that I was going to do. Let me tell you this. I started giving money to my parents, my tithe. Then when I found out, I created that my financial wellness plan. You do the teruma, the tithe, and you split the rest, the second tithe, into three different parts. And I began to put my subscribers on and told them what I experienced. Well, and part of that you're supposed to give to the poor and to the strangers. And I began to give my poor stranger part to my mom and my father. Let me tell you what happened when I began to honor my parents, who at that point in my mind caused me so much pain. And I'm not putting quotes around it to take away from the pain, because it was pain, but I understand now it's perceived pain, and then they had their own pain on their side. That was in 2018. Every single time that I gave my tithe, I gave to the people that God used to bring me into existence. And guys, let me tell you what happened. The floodgates open. I mean, open huge. And do you know what I was able to do? I was able to make my parents debt free sometime last year. So the storm came, tore up what they had. The second space they had got a much nicer place. And then right after the storm, 2-3 years later, I come in and wipe all debt away, to where they don't have to work, but they keep working. And I'm just, it's how they raise us, and I'm not going to frown on it, because that's why I got a strong work ethic. But doing that totally changed me. And something began to happen in the inside of me. So every first of the month, the conversation we were having yesterday, I asked them, I said, Daddy, how does it feel to be debt free? He said, boy, is that I tell you the truth. And Mama, she texted me, and I asked her the same thing. And she sent me these debts and GIFs and stuff. And I thought about it many years ago, how, I say many, but went on through 2018, how I wanted to be able to do that. And I did it. To where my parents at 60, what are mama now, 68, 67, somewhere now, don't have to work no more. Unless they just want to. I mean, mama ain't gonna, I don't think she's never gonna start working. But honoring my father and my mother, even with unconfessed and unresolved pain and conflict with them, it totally changed my life. So let me say this to you, and I'm gonna go. I got something I gotta do. I don't care if your mom and dad is crackheads. I don't care if they abused you, neglected you, left you, or you don't even know who your parents are. In your heart, in your head, you might not be able to talk to them. You may not be able to do what I done. You may just need to write a letter. But go ahead and resolve that conflict now. There are 1,888 of you on this 3X. I always tell them I look up between YouTube and Facebook, and over here is 128 on Instagram. Today, this is what I'm telling y'all. This is why I rose to tell you. Get your hand to a piece of paper, if you can't go to where your parents are, and totally let go all of that book that happened between you and them. Let that go and start doing something. It may just be a letter, because you may not be able to talk to them, maybe pass. And start doing something to honor them. I need to say it again. Mark, I'm talking to you, sleep, but you need to listen to what I'm saying. He rolled up his lip. From starting today, I know how it could have been with them. Let that stuff go, and today start doing something to honor your parents, especially if they live in. But if they gone and there's something unresolved, find a way to do that still even now. And it's going to change your perception. It's going to change you forever, and it's going to be for the better. because when I did it, it changed everything for me. But Reid, I can't make my parents debt free. You can, but you just don't want to. I had to make them priority. But y'all need to go ahead and do that. This 2021. Now the Cora done came, and some of y'all through the Cora. Family members half dead, some did die, and y'all still got unresolved issues. And you're taking into y'all just hard to correct. What is it gonna take? Are we gonna have a Katrina experience where everything up underwater, we all on floats? Oh, I wish I could feel my mom. I mean, some things have to be put in perspective. I think that's why some stuff happens, because you just don't get it easy. Well, get it easy by me telling you right now. Take your hip somewhere and work on this thing twins, you and your mama and you and your daddy, and start clearing the plate, clearing the slate. Honor. I know they may have neglected you or abused you, but start honoring both your parents if they living. I don't know how you're gonna do it when them gone, but you find a way. Might be that piece of paper writing thing I'm saying. But you best find a whole way. I'm telling you. Thank you, Larry, because 2019 I lost my dad and he was not the great, but I love him and honor him to his dying bed. I have one parent left and honor the best I can. Honor them. Do like I said now. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Because some of you guys is trying to make yourself debt free, but your parents now is struggling. Don't y'all do that. I made my parents priority. Priority. Michael, did I make my parents priority? Dude. They debt free. They don't have no debt. They don't have to work. But this the how they side up, they're gonna continue to work. Honor your mom and your dad. Quit calling them. Oh, wait a minute. Quit calling, asking your mom and them for money all the darn time. I left at 17 and I came back once or twice in the same year and asked for a loan. And that was in 2017, I think it was. No, that was 18. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Was it 18? No, it was 17. No, it was 18. It was 18. Oh my God, Jesus. It was. Oh my God, that was yesterday. And then I was able to turn around because I don't understand. A lot of you folk, y'all ask for your parents for money, and especially the men. I have a problem with that. How come you can't go and make your own money? I don't understand. You don't need to be living off your parents, ask your parents for the money, but make things right for your parents. Darn. Maybe that's what the Bible meant when it said honor thy mother and thy father. It ain't just a matter of consciousness, but honor also has to do with money. Give your mama and your daddy money so that your days might be longer here on the earth, or maybe replace days with money. Give money to your mom and daddy so that your money will be longer here on earth. Maybe that's what that is about. Make them feel honored. Michael, you took your phone out. You texting your father? The spirit said, get your life together and honor your father. The spirit. I don't care how it is. Honor your mother and your father. Now listen here, I done told you. Now next month, because some say I devil do. Because you about to get your income tax and you're going to get your stimulus. So you're going to be like, I heard what Larry said, but I'm doing good. Then April going to hit. May going to come. Like, what? My money's dried up. I don't know what's wrong. And I've been tithing and giving. But you got principles screwed up. Because a lot of folks be tithing and giving, but then they forget about the law of waste. You waste, it's going to be a mess. You can't break all them other laws, tithe the money, and think you're going to be successful. And this is one right here. Honor your mother and your father. Michael, you what I said? Start sending your daddy money. That's the spirit. I wish y'all could see Michael's face. He hard to learn. Now, was that BMW passed away? And then you're not standing that big old 6,000-7,000 square feet brick house no more? You're going to wonder why. It's going to be because you ain't honor Leon. I wish y'all could see Bucko face. Bucko about to hit me. Let me stop. Let me stop talking. You good with your dad? When the last time you honored him?
I do something every month.
What'd you do?
I send him money.
Oh, I didn't know. That's good.
And I send him cologne.
That's very nice. Yeah, because you got some reasons not to. Okay, never mind. So this word's not for not hitting Mako. Maybe not. But you may be doing that. But is there honor in your heart for him?
Of course.
What for?
He's my dad.
Okay, that's all it takes. You came out your daddy nuts. And if it had not been for your daddy nuts, you would not be here.
Step off my dad nuts.
I'm just saying, if you're then God did that. All right, so I'll see you guys later. Share this. This might not made you laugh, and it might not be about what's going on in the world right now, but this here sat down in my spiritualizations, and then my tingle just went off. And so I had to come up here and talk to every last one of y'all, especially those of you that's aspiring to be paper Bible saved, with a little bit secular, but you're paper Bible saved. So I'm just trying to help you out so that you can be all right. What old saints do say to us, the scares. So when the Lord cracked the sky, you can see him in peace. And then you're not on your way to hell. The scares the devil. All right, so see y'all later. Peace. Now let me end